Hi, I'm Jorge Cruz, #1 New York Times bestselling author and celebrity trainer, and I want to welcome you to the all-new Jorge Cruz podcast. Every week, I'll bring you the shortcuts to work better, reduce pain, improve memory, and even sleep better. It's not just about intermittent fasting or getting a flat belly. My mission is to give you simple ways that will empower you to live as you choose. Welcome to the Jorge Cruz podcast. Well, welcome back to the podcast, guys. I'm so excited to be back here on this Monday. It's the 27th of April, and boy, as we continue this quarantine and the pandemic, I am just so thrilled that we have a guest or two guests on the show today to continue our conversation about super immunity, because right now my mantra for myself, my family, my clients, whether they're celebrity or online, it's to just bolster immunity. And, sometimes it takes a pandemic to get us to behave better, and I have given up a few things that I'm so happy and proud of myself that I never thought I would, that were acid forming in my body. I've talked about it on Instagram and Facebook if you haven't seen it. I'm on a tea fast right now. I'm giving up coffee and haven't had wine in 2 weeks, so it's kind of crazy. I never thought I could say that, but not that you need to do that, guys. But on today's show, we're going to talk about a product that and a superfood that I was introduced to when I was 17 years old by my mom, Gloria. She passed over 20 years ago, and it was due to the fact that my dad, Mel, at the time, had prostate cancer, and he did not take what the doctors told him way back then as a death sentence for 1 year lightly, and he went into the deep sea, if you will, and deep end of the health world, and was very much an innovator in that sense, and discovered a place in San Diego, California, in Lemon Grove, California, called the Optimal Health Institute. And when I was 18 years old, I went with him there after he had been there the first time, and he's like, "Son, you got to discover this wheatgrass." And he was having it night and day. And he gave me some, and I was like, whoa, this stuff is strong. But then I attended lectures and learned about what its properties were and how it's a superfood with chlorophyll, has 0 calories for us watching our weight, so it doesn't break a fast. You can start your morning with this. And I'm so excited to say that I'm adding this to my morning routine as well now during the pandemic, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop. So super excited. On the other side here of the line here, I've got Meg and her husband Zach, and they're the duo of Navitas, and what an incredible team you guys are. And I want to thank you guys for all your time last week, and I know you guys started this company with the maca products, and what a great just insight on how this started. But I wanted to ask you, Zach or Meg, first, welcome to the show, and welcome back, guys. How have you been through this pandemic? You guys holding up, I'm sure? Yeah?
Yeah, thanks, Jorge. Thanks for having us on the show again. We're excited to be back, and yes, we're hanging in there with our family, and it's been a crazy few weeks. I don't know, Meg.
Hi, Jorge. Glad to be here with you again.
So happy you're here, Meg.
Yeah, we're blessed. I mean, we're trying to find a silver lining here.
And there is a silver lining, and as we prepare, whether it's short term or long term, and I always hope for the best but expect the worst, and I'm just wanting to get well. And so for me, wheatgrass is something I used to get fresh when I could, and I don't go to the store unless I need to. So let's start with this, guys. Wheatgrass. It's this green product. For those of you at home that have heard of it or seen it, a lot of celebrities I work with know about it. Brooke Burke in Malibu uses it. Cindy Crawford I know uses it. A lot of high-end celebrities. Lady Gaga, I've seen her use it at a place we have in Malibu called Sun Life Organic, which is kind of like a healthier Jamba Juice. But the thing is, it's typically very, strong and difficult to get because you got to get it fresh, and then you add water, or it comes with water. You can dilute it so it's not as strong. But I've been aware of it for now 30 years almost, if not more, and since my dad's since his death sentence, guys. And so share with us, maybe Meg, maybe you go first from a medical background, because you have that background and understand the body at the level that I wish I did. But in the sense of alkalinity, that I do know is very important to keep your body healthy, and acid. And that's why I've given up the coffee and the wine for now, and if I do it, I add minerals to alkalinize, like magnesium, potassium. But wheatgrass, it has chlorophyll in its center. Maybe we start with chlorophyll and how you guys, or how your perspective on it, Meg, and why it's so beneficial to the immune system, and how easy it is now. And obviously people are thinking, well, it's like fresh and frozen. This is dried and it's a powder. But take it away and tell us a little bit about how this wheatgrass works, and then why this powdered version with 0 calories, which I love, is as effective and convenient right now during this pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we're looking, sort of how to get by during this crazy period, it's best to kind of look what you can stock your pantry with that's sort of shelf stable. And that's obviously all of our products. The wheatgrass in particular is considered a living food. It has amazing antioxidant, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties. It's an amazing source of vitamins and minerals, and obviously chlorophyll. It's 50% chlorophyll, and our wheatgrass is actually a wheatgrass juice powder. So it's directly dried from the juice and not the actual whole wheatgrass itself, which takes away all that fiber, which we can't really digest anyway.
Exactly.
But it really is an alkalizing product. And as you know, the acid-base balance in the body is critical to sort of having all of our organ systems and all of our metabolism function properly. And so it really just supports that at every level in the body to help us really kind of get the most out of our nutrition and sort of in effect detoxifies as a result.
And I think right now, so many people, I mean, I was reading about how, and it's kind of funny, but a lot of people, whether they're everyday people or celebrities, but they're all at home, obviously in quarantine. And it's become either, if you look at the glass half empty, it feels like they're in jail. And if you look at it half full, it's like they're at a spa, forever. And I feel like, it's hard to get this darn wheatgrass. My dad, just to tell the story for a second, used to get these, I want to say like 2x2 deliveries of 2 feet by 2 feet of this wheatgrass, literally growing with the young blades and all that. And he would cut it and put it in kind of a grinder, kind of like a meat grinder, and would get the juice. And boy, we knew when that came every week, and he'd have enough for the whole week, because he was committed. He was in his mid-50s, and the doctors told him they had 1 year. And so we would drink it with him. He'd wake me up in the morning. I remember being like 19 and home in the summer from college at UCSD, and he'd make me 6 ounces of wheatgrass, not diluted, just straight up. And I was like, oh my God, Dad, please. It's strong.
That's pretty bold.
Oh, he was bold, but he went in all the way. And so I know with this, it's great because you can put as much as you want. Typically, what do you guys recommend, Zach? Like half a teaspoon, right?
Yeah, I think, it's about a quarter teaspoon or a half a gram will give you the equivalent to a traditional wheatgrass shot.
Okay,
So I remember back in the old school health food store days and co-ops that you see around the country still, before Whole Foods and Sprouts blew up, you would go to these health food stores and they would have the wheatgrass growing in their juice and smoothie bars back in the early 90s. And we would find ourselves in these great retailers and have these juice shots. So I think the most important thing when you're looking for a wheatgrass product is to make sure it is a juiced powder, ideally freeze dried. So they take the juice powder and they freeze dry it. So
and is that how you guys do it? Tell us the process, because I'm fascinated with this, because I'm adding it to my morning routine. And I fast all day, but this doesn't break the fast. So I mean, tell us how you guys convert it.
And it's super easy to incorporate it, to just reconstitute it with, an ounce or two of water, or how strong you want the flavor. The nutrients are in the powder. So you could make it, 1 or 2 ounces or 4 or 6 ounces just with a half a gram or a quarter teaspoon. It's a little bit goes a long way in the concentrated form that it is. And as Megan said, it is shelf stable, but there are other products on the market that sell wheatgrass. And it can be where they take the grass and they mill it up, and often they even just pull the grass out of the ground and mill up the root balls. And that's just not the same product as what we're doing, and not what you're looking for from a wheatgrass product. It has to be juiced. We're not, as humans, you're not designed to consume grasses other than the juices that come from it.
No, and I know that's important. A lot of people think, oh, can't I just get wheatgrass and put it on there? And the thing is, it takes so much grass I remember my dad. I mean, as much as he got this 2x2 foot thing every week, he'd get 2 of them. It wouldn't last that long because it takes a lot of grass. I mean, there's a lot of product in these tiny satchels. I mean, what's the equivalent of what's in a satchel? Because you guys sell it in I have it here in my kitchen, and it lasts forever.
It's 1 ounce that we sell. And that is basically, the equivalent of, I think, like 60 servings or something that is in there.
Wow.
So, like I said, a little goes a long way. 56 servings in one of our pouches. And when you buy the pouch, it feels like there's nothing in there because it's only 1 ounce in there.
Yeah.
But it's so concentrated and so packed with nutrients that, as I said, a little goes a long way.
I love that. And I love that you can also, because on your website, and I love... No, go ahead.
One thing I would say is it's American grown, which is always nice. For a lot of the superfoods that we sell come from around the world, and this is one of the few that we bring from here in the United States, and we're excited about that as well.
No, I love that. I mean, we got to support America, and this is grown here. Has that been affected with the pandemic, or are they still able to grow it, or should people stockpile a little bit? I hate to ask. I mean, I might as well, though, because I sure need some.
Yeah, we don't we're really into the hoarding. There's plenty to go around.
Hi, this is Jorge, and I wanted to interrupt the show just for a minute because I want to make sure that you're on my VIP mailing list for future podcasts and for insights and shortcuts on how to improve your health, from everything on intermittent fasting to yoga to 8-minute workouts to how to just work better and how to have less stress and also how to manage pain. I mean, you name it, all my best shortcuts come out every Monday, and it's totally free. You heard it right. So I'm going to encourage you right now to take a second and jump onto your laptop and go to jorgecruz.com, or you can do it on your mobile device, obviously, and sign up for the Jorge Cruz Report. And it's totally free. Tell your loved ones about it. Join it. It's over 250,000 people that are getting this email, and it's going out every Monday, and I want you to be a part of it so you know what's coming up next every week. All right, guys, let's get back to the show.
It's grown in greenhouses in the Northeast, and there's been, not widespread, especially with the plant-based foods. We haven't really seen huge interruptions in the supply chain, thankfully.
Well, and I want to take a second to tell everyone listening that, when I go to the store once a week, or usually, sometimes twice, but I usually hit Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, and I go to Costco. I do a little rounds of all of them. But when I go to Whole Foods, I'm always surprised. The vitamin C aisle is packed. Or not packed, I should say. It's empty. It's off the shelves. And then I see stuff like your Camus, and I see the wheatgrass. People like this I think this is so important that people realize that these products, because they're in food form, are so much more bioavailable. And maybe, Meg, you could talk about this, because as much as I've seen wheatgrass capsules and pills and, chlorophyll and all that, but this is truly from the juice, and it's literally as if it were juiced right there. But the effectiveness of this is comparable to the real deal. And I think that's so important, because it's not just vitamin C you want to bulk up on, and not just capsules and pills. If you can get it in food form, because I love, last week we talked about Camus as well briefly, and we're going to do a whole thing on it really soon as well. But with immunity at stake, how can we motivate people to try this, Meg? What would you tell them right now from your heart about how wheatgrass is rare? Because it really, for me, I've been embracing it for, I can't say 30 years for too many other products, but this one, since I was a late teenager, 17, 18, and I remember the power of this. And my dad was a living testament. I talked about him and his success in every one of my books, and I've written over 30 of them. But give them a little bit from your perspective as someone who understands the body, and how this is different than just taking vitamin C or some pill, right?
Yeah. Eating whole foods as close to their natural state as possible is the way to go, as far as being able to maximize all of the nutritional benefits of those products. And you kind of nailed it on the head. It's about this sort of bioavailability. It's about the body's ability to recognize it as such and absorb it and use it for its bodily, physiological function. And frankly, a lot of the supplements and, a lot of products out there, they have other ingredients in them that are kind of additive ingredients that either enhance or they negate the effect of absorbability of those nutrients, or they're just filler. And so the body works to break those down. So I'm thinking about isolates and things like that that are often found in foods. If you're looking at a label and you can't figure out what that word means, it's probably not going to be good for you. So ultimately, the whole foods approach is really kind of the best way to get them to maximize the nutritional benefit of the products. And, I think ultimately it's so easy to use these things. You can put it wheatgrass, you can do the traditional shot like your dad did. And if or you can put it into salad dressings. It's a great additive for any smoothie. We make guacamole, like a green guacamole.
I was going to say, I'm obsessed with the one fruit I am eating these days, because most fruits are high in sugar, but the guacamole or the avocado. And you guys have on your website this incredible extra green guacamole. Can you tell them about that? Because I want to share that on the podcast, and you guys will have that on a link here as well. But tell them about the ingredients, because it looks amazing, and yet it becomes like a super guac, right?
Yeah, basically it just amps up your guacamole to a new level, and makes it just more nutritionally benefit. Obviously, guacamole is pretty darn good for you regardless. Yep. But whenever you add in wheatgrass, you just change the nutritional profile of that food to be able to pack more punch. Yep. And we had a great chef who helped us design a lot of these recipes. This one happens to be fantastic, and but we also have done like a green hummus where we use wheatgrass as just to enhance that as well. So there's a lot of ways you can just add it in that are surprisingly tasty. And they just bring a whole lot of nutritional value to whatever you're eating. Yep.
And I'm looking at all the recipes under the wheatgrass area on your site. And I have to tell you, my eyes are going to this delicious maca, what is it? Inchi shake, the maca inchi. Am I saying it right?
Oh, yeah. It's probably with the sacha inchi plant.
There it is. Yes, because I've read about that. That's a fatty acid, right, guys?
Yes.
Tell us about that, because what a way to break the fast, guys. As much as we're all eating at home all the time, as much as I love a salad and, a little protein, it's sometimes nice to have a delicious, delicious shake. And tell them about how that one's made, guys, if you don't mind.
Yeah. When you include the sacha inchi in there, you're getting some protein and you're getting some fatty acids. Yeah, I don't have the recipe in front of me right now.
Oh, no. But it has maca. I'm looking at it. Maca and then lucama powder. Tell us about those.
Lucama is another Indian. So a lot of our products, over the years have come from Peru, which is a place I like to call that has the mother lode of superfoods, plant-based superfoods.
I love that.
So lucama is an interesting fruit that grows at about the mid-level of the Andes. And it's more used as a natural sweetener and flavor. It's a really popular ice cream flavor, as an example, in Peru. It's got some nutritional benefit, but it's added for flavor more than anything. Whereas sacha inchi has, a lot of protein in it, fatty acids. So it's something that you can find in the market. We don't actually sell the sacha inchi, but you can see we create recipes that incorporate lots of different plant-based foods, even ones that we don't always sell. So maca, as we talked about on our last podcast, was our flagship product where we started. Very, very healthy, unique nutritional benefits from a healthy root vegetable that grows up in the Andes. So you'll often find maca in a lot of our recipes and as a core ingredient in a lot of our value-added products that we sell as well.
Since you and I spoke last week, I've been using it more, and I can just tell you the energy and my concentration. I really get why you guys made it all start with that, but I'm excited. These recipes are amazing. And as we wrap up, guys, I want to make sure people can find this stuff. Remind them it's available everywhere, Amazon, Whole Foods, your website. Would you guys mind sharing your website and your social again, Zach? I know you did last week, but let's make sure that they have all access. And I want you guys to try this and really embrace the wheatgrass, though, guys. I can tell you, for someone who's been in the health business, I'm 49 and I've been in this since since college. So ever since I graduated in my early 20s, and all the great people I've met, from the Oprahs to the Tony Robbins to Dr. Mark Hyman to Dr. Mehmet Oz, I can tell you wheatgrass has never, ever been something anyone has said not to do. I mean, they always say it's hard to get, or, this and that. But I have never heard anything negative about it, and the power of it during this pandemic will give you that advantage. So would you guys mind sharing where your website and your social, and we'll wrap up. And I'm excited to talk to you guys next week too. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. So you can always find us at www.navitas.organics.com, and that's NAVITAS organics.com. We're at Navitas Organics on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. And Zach, you can reach Zach on IG at Navitas Zach, and me at Meg Adelman RN. But I just wanted to end by saying, wheatgrass is a very energizing food as well. So from that chlorophyll benefit, you can really, between the maca and this wheatgrass, they're both very energizing. So we all need a little bit of that right now.
Oh, there's no question. We need the edge, and bolstering our immunity with an energy base, and doing it in a way that doesn't break your fast. For everyone following, the flat belly method is a dream come true for me and for everyone out there. So let's embrace some wheatgrass, guys. Check it out online, guys. I'll talk to you next week. I'm super excited. Take good care, and let's all remember that our health is so important. And I think the pandemic is reminding us all, right, a big push or a great little tap on the shoulder that we got to take care of this. And the great thing is, with simple products that you guys have, I think we can make it more convenient and hopefully make it a part of our new routine moving forward, and even beyond the pandemic. Because for me, we didn't even talk about this, but I know it's something that can help and kind of slow down aging. And it's just a tool that wheatgrass and all these superfoods that can really benefit us to have quality of life. So cheers to that, right, guys?
Cheers, Jorge. Agreed.
Thanks, Jorge.
All right, guys. Talk soon. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Well, I really do hope you enjoyed the podcast today. I know I love doing it every week for you. And if you would be able to give us a 5-star review, we would sure appreciate it. Whatever podcast you're listening on, hopefully it's Apple, just give us 5 stars and give us a comment. We'd love to know what you loved about it. Encourage others to listen to this. And if you can, please share today's podcast with your loved ones. Share it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Share it with your loved ones. Text it, copy it, paste it. Let's make the Jorge Cruz revolution happen. And it's all about shortcuts. And you guys know you can sign up for my newsletter as well. I've already interrupted the show, but I want to remind you, if you haven't signed up for Jorge Cruz Report, it comes out every Monday with a link to the newest podcast. But you also get all my insights, my shortcuts on how to be exercising smarter, how to eat healthier, how to do intermittent fasting with cheating the fast, which is important, so that way you never feel hungry, and you get to eat great things that are delicious, because I love cheesecake, I love chocolate chip cookies, all those things. I'll teach you how to do that through the newsletter, and again, it's totally free. The website is simple. Just go to jorgecruz.com. It's JORGECRUISE.com. And please tell your friends to join the newsletter as well. It comes out every Monday, and it's called the Jorge Cruz Report. You'll love it. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you there. Peace and purpose. Take good care.